Okay. So what we're doing today, we're doing a little opening, and we're going to talk about a contest we're having, and then Gary's got stuff to do. He's going to talk first, actually, and then we'll do the contest.
We'll stay quiet until we have spoken to.
Yeah, free speech.
Not really.
Yeah.
We had the same other Paul.
Oh yeah.
Don't speak until you're spoken to.
Yeah.
Right? Feel like my dog.
Watch that butt.
Shake It Up Radio.
We're live on YouTube.
And we'll be live on Facebook. iTunes Online Radio. 9 minutes. Dare I say it?
An eternity.
I got 2.
Actually, I think that's what my bus driver did today.
2?
He took a long 10-minute for a pee, but it was a lot longer than 10 minutes, so I'm presuming it was number 2.
Ooh. Bus drivers'
Almost
activities
maybe
is
late.
one of the great things about riding the HSO.
You want to check it? I think it.
Shake It Up Radio.
You did.
Shake It Up Radio.
Yeah.
You're at the corner of John and Augusta.
You can add volume, I can tell you. You got volume, I'll take it.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, check it, check, check, check. Ooh, train ride. Oh. 16 coaches on. That train ride. 16 coaches on. Oh, this long black train. Got my baby going up, 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 up. That train, coming around me. That train, coming around me. To my baby, but then we'll get up, up, up.
Maybe it was.
Okay. Hold on. But you're hearing it at all?
Yeah,
There's something.
I am.
What's up? I didn't realize it was on my end.
I hear this is still fancy.
That's better.
Well, it's better.
That's a great tone you got there, Paul.
All this little guy. Made in China.
Yeah.
Yeah. No tariffs on those things.
Yeah.
This is the first time. No, I think it's the second time I'm doing this live. This branch I found it on Facebook Market. And
Just got it.
yeah, a few months ago, but I
You had a different press last time.
Are we done with everything on the
when I was
table
here
here?
solo, I had an acoustic.
Are we done with all that?
Yeah, with a pickup.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah, with the resonator. They stopped making those.
They did.
So if I go through them like I go through guitars.
Is your band here?
No. No Batman
Yeah, I understand.
We have 5 minutes, folks. 3 minutes.
Oh, you guys could do about 5 songs?
Okay. Yeah, we'll
Yep, I'm doing that for you.
Yeah.
and then just
Oh,
keep
right.
out.
Right, you see you.
Like we see.
I lean
Glad to be here, glad to be in.
C, the writer,
Yes.
I lean in G. The writer in C, bass and marble A minor, devil's right hand E, and purple main A. I don't know if they will be necessarily in that order.
That's a bad.
We'll see how the conversation flows.
It's old style, and it's like a 57 Chevy. Yeah, for sure.
It'd be great, like.
I use one when I play live. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's like Sun Records gear or something like that. Yeah.
You can put it on the windowsill. Just move my curtain a little bit.
I like stuff like that. I always have.
I'm always conscious of putting
And
my
that's
the drummer.
so much more.
Elbows up and all that.
Some use
Yeah,
something like that, right? Yeah, just the fins and,
Studemakers.
yeah.
I'm
We used to make those.
Quite like it.
Yeah, you guys spread it.
Yeah, I do get cars.
Hi, how are you? I don't know, would you like something to do?
No.
I just wanted to make sure.
That's
And
fine.
then yours left for you.
Oh, Lord. Where's Famous? There he is.
He's right there, I see him. I'm right here. Does Kimberly have a mic for her little segment? Or where's
She can use mine.
Yeah.
Well, I was kind of hoping you guys could talk, the three of us. No? I can be loud. I'll just stand beside Famous and
Yeah.
it should work out, yeah.
2 for 1.
2 for 1.
You can sit on my knee.
Don't tease me.
Family
The
show.
wife might not like that.
We're not quite sure what kind of family it is, but. Penthouse.
All right, folks, here we go.
Oh, Guccione's family.
Little hustle.
Caligula's.
go. I knew I'd get it right. Welcome to Shake It Up on Canuck Tunes Online Radio, broadcasting live from Hamilton's own pub, the Cat Fiddle, 174 John Street South at Augusta Street. This week's guests, the Paul Cafcae Band, and Bernadette Connors. Now, our host, who thinks the upper crust is a bunch of crumbs held together by dough. Here is Famous Framus.
Thank you so much, Gary Freeman. And what an apt metaphor it is for the one percenters, the upper crust held together by a bunch of dough.
All right. You know it.
You know it.
You know it.
Yes.
And yeah, with this is the weekend prior to the election,
Yes.
right? So I'm thinking, I really don't care what side of the fence you're on. You research your candidate. You make the choice best for you. The 31% turnout that this country has for elections is pretty dismal. And I think this election is probably one of the most important in generations.
Oh, it's going to be a lot more than 31%, I think.
I'm hoping, right? Because there's been lineups at the advanced polls.
There's 7 million ballots already.
You know, and hopefully it equates to more.
I think that's 31%, isn't it?
Right.
Already.
Right. So, you know, that's my shtick. Just, I don't care what you do, who you vote for, just make an informed decision for yourself and vote.
Right.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all that needs to be said.
But what if you're getting all your disinformation off of the social media platforms? Should you still?
You know what? I would be, and I'm just going to say this, I would be more apt to look at certain social media than MSN for information.
MSN.
Mainstream media.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay.
Okay, that's my shtick, and
That's your shtick.
that's my voting. I'm not saying nothing about no one, nowhere, so there.
We can agree to disagree on that.
And if you start bitching about the next government that comes in and you didn't vote, then you have nothing to bitch about.
That's right.
But we are a music station.
I'm going to hike my shorts up and complain about the government anyway, regardless.
Not politics.
Anyway,
You're that
onward and
age.
upward. Here we go. This weekend at the Cat Fiddle. Of course, it's Friday. We're looking at episode 46.
46.
46.
Wow.
So we have Briscoe's Blues Review coming in tonight. Thank you much. Plugging away and slowly but surely gaining momentum. Weight.
Yes.
Whiskey Chasers are here Saturday, April 26th. And then on the Sunday, it's a double bill for the Cat and Fiddle.
Wow.
From 3 to 5, we have Sam and Robin. And then from 5:30 to 8, the good old mainstays, Innisfree.
Wow.
And of course, Cat and Fiddle, they have all the hockey playoffs. Today is Fish Friday, $15 plus tax. Gets you a piece of fish, fries, slop, the whole slop, all the stuff.
Well, the slop of this and the slop of that.
Right? So, and speaking of Canuck Tunes and radio, and speaking of, we have Kimberly Robin here, our grand
Our
poobah,
our big toe, our leader, our fearless CEO.
And I'm very excited.
Good morning, Kimberly. Good afternoon.
I'm excited because we're gonna have
Eat
a
that mic.
stay and play contest on air where you get to make playlists with a theme, send it in, and it starts May 1st and it ends May 31st, and it's called Stay and Play because you get to win a dinner and a motel room at the Hampton Inn by Hilton, which is located in Hamilton on Queen Street and across from the Casbah, Queen Street and King Street West.
King and Queen.
King and
The
Queen.
Royal Corner, as we call
Yeah,
it.
the Royal Corner. So we're excited about that, and it starts May 1st, so we'll have everything set up. You go to our website, you submit your playlist. We're gonna play the playlist all throughout May as they come in. We'll announce it,
And
and
how long are the playlists?
between 10 and 15 songs,
Okay,
and they have to be Canadian because
All
we're a
Canadian.
Canadian station.
that's right.
And if you're a band, you can put your own music on there as well. You can mix your song in there.
Ooh,
Yeah, so it's open to everybody.
I see Paul Cafcae's face lighting up a little bit.
Yeah. Perfect, yeah. So, I mentioned the prize, it's a one-night stay at the Hampton Hotel here in Hamilton.
One night. I thought you were going to say one night stand.
Everybody's had his
Crazy cat girl.
So we have,
One night with Kimberly?
Yeah.
One night.
I think I know that song.
hey, you gotta be careful, I've been lonely you lately?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's a wildcat. She is a wildcat.
Okay, so we have 4 judges. I'm not gonna announce them yet because I'm still waiting on confirmation on 2 of them. So we're gonna have some judges and we'll play this throughout May. And then May 31st, we'll announce the winner. And they get, well, if they're a band, then they get free airplay, of course.
Yes.
It's just.
Are they
it's
gonna
just
come
fun
in
to
and be on the show?
Yes.
When we, oh,
Go on the
that's
show,
fantastic.
they'll get a gift as well. I don't have that set up yet, and I apologize because I'm just laying this on these 2. I'm laying it on those guys today.
That's all right. We're good on the fly. We're better on the fly.
Yeah, so 1 entry per person. You must be 18 plus. You have to be Ontario residents only, and the playlist must contain 100% Canadian music.
Fantastic.
That's it.
All
Sounds great.
Canadian.
Yay.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to this.
Yes. A new venture in our travels with the Shake It Up Radio brand.
Indeed. And we do have to, thank the people here that have attended Cat Fiddle. Thank you
Absolutely.
for listening. We do appreciate it. Without you, we wouldn't be here. Quite
That's
honestly.
right. Without you and you.
And you.
And you.
And her.
And also them.
And them. Yes. They're the understanding patient.
We're all in this together. You, me, us, them.
That's our program.
Yeah.
Well, without any further ado, we shall move the show quite along. This will be fun.
This is going to be great. You passing it over to me, Mr. Greenland?
I am so.
Okay, well, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome back Mr. Paul Cafcae. And he's got his band with him this time. Welcome back, sir. Great to see you again.
Thank you very much.
How have you been?
Back. It's been busy.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
You've put a new record out.
Yeah, we've been working on that record for I would say about 18 months. It's a pretty cool one. We're really happy about it.
It's a cool record. I listened to it this morning. It's a rocker for sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want to get into one, and then we'll do our chat thing? You want to introduce the band first?
Sure, for sure. Yeah. So on the drums here is all the way from Bogota, Colombia. This is Diana Herrera, everybody.
Diana Herrera.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
She's a native of Hamilton now. And with a big violin here.
Stand up, double
Yes,
bass.
stand up,
Yes.
double bass, big bull fiddle, however you want to call it. Doghouse. Sometimes. Yeah, this is Ethan Tilbury.
Ethan Tilbury, everybody. Put your hands together.
And yeah, we're gonna go straight into the first single that was released from this album. It's called Banks of Marble. I traveled around this country from sea to sea to sea, and it really made me wonder the things I got to see. I seen the weary nurses working triple shifts night and day. I heard there was a saying, no, you cannot get a raise, but the banks are made of marble, with a guard at every door, and they're all stuffed with silver, that the nurses sweating for. I've seen the retail workers abuse
called Cafcae. Thanks at Marble.
Yeah. It's a remake of an old song that was written back in the 30s by a apple farm, or like a union leader of farmers. His name was Les Rice, and this song was famously recorded by none other than Pete Seeger.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
of course, we reworked the whole song. It sounds very different now, but it's
Got
still
that ominous
still
kind of
influenced,
echo, and the guitar arpeggios kind of are make it a little bit. There's a little bit of a darkness to it.
Yeah, musically it's a lot more. Like, first of all, the song is in minor key now, but
Minor key,
yeah,
yeah.
it was in a major key
Yeah,
initially altogether. And yeah, we tried to bring it a little bit more to, you know, the 2020s as well.
So art as a songwriting, as a political statement, is that something that you cultivate, or something that you just kind of let come to you? Is it, how does that work into your songwriting machine, as it were?
That's a great question. I think by and large, I write songs about stuff that bothers me
Right.
in any given moment. So my first album, for example, was like my pre-divorce album. So I was trying to figure out what's going on.
I got one of those.
Yeah.
I got one of those.
Yeah.
That's the best. That's my best record.
Yeah, there's a lot of great songs on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know how they say blues is when a good man is feeling bad. And,
Absolutely.
yeah, and so at different parts of it in time, I think my records are reflective of what's on my mind right now. And lately, you know, post-pandemic, the big divide that is kind of cleaving between different groups of people everywhere in the world, really. Like,
Polarization and
Yeah.
extreme ideologies. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a lot of the songs on my album are about this kind of social commentary, if you wish.
Yeah. So whatever's bugging you at the time, that's what's driving your muse. Basically.
Yeah, I think, you know, not necessarily like an entire album was dedicated to all that stuff, but
Song
a
by
big
song
chunk of
basis.
it, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, a big chunk of it, like usually at least 50-60% is the same theme.
And when you start that process, is it something that just like a kernel of truth or a kernel of reality in the world, and then it kind of cooks inside you like a pressure cooker, like a slow cooker, and then you kind of like, how's your process? Does it come fast? Does it come slow?
I just want to make a comment. I think Kernel of Truth sounds like someone who would work at the Ministry of Truth.
That's
I like that.
great.
That's a good expression.
I'm surprised there won't be one appointed tomorrow somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Down
I'm sure
south
they're
of
listening to
49th
folks.
parallel.
Yeah, I think that's
the kernel of truth.
And,
The czar of bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, but to answer your question, I think it depends really on the song. Sometimes I just know that I want to do something, and sometimes I just wander into like this unknown situation and start doing something. And again, I'm really blessed that my band is with me today, and they are an integral part of how the songs end up sounding, how they get shaped. So credit goes to both of them.
For sure, yeah. You'll get a kitchen table version with a guitar, and then you bring it to them, and the arrangement come to fruition after that.
Yeah, sometimes it sounds even worse than the kitchen version because I use like a DAW to put in artificial drums and bass, and then I bring to them and just watch them cringe for 15 minutes, and then like, okay, you know, leave the room, we'll fix it. The situation. Yeah, and there's a lot of things that happened. I think a great example of what you just described is a song from the album that's called Devil's Right Hand. Initially, I actually recorded it as a solo, as an homage to a similar song by Steve Burrell. That was, but I like the version. I like the version that Johnny Cash recorded on his American records, like at the end of his career, at the end of his life, which was this Les Paul guitar or Fender guitar. I can't remember. I did some read up on that. I think it was a Fender, and it was very gritty. And I wanted to do the same thing with my 10 electro guitar, so I went into the studio and just did a version of that song that's just the guitar and the vocals, and you can find it also on the album, like further down the set list.
Bonus track.
Yeah, so I recorded that, and then we were, as a band, we were rehearsing for a gig. And I said, hey, well, there's this song I recorded as just, you know, a solo number, but I'd like you to weigh in on that. And we started fooling around with it, and then it came out to be this magnificent wall of sound that you hear just the three people can produce on the album. There's some overdubs, but it's basically three people working on it. And it's honestly one of my favorite songs from this album, at least right now. You know how it changes.
Well, that's a great segue, Paul.
Yeah.
How about hitting us with
Let's do it.
Devil's Right Hand? Yeah.
2, 3. When I was only 7, my grandpa called me in, showed me the most pretty pistol I've ever seen. It was cold, it was heavy, it was shiny and black. But after I touched it, my grandpa took it back. He said, "Son, you know that I fought the big war, and I earned this here pistol back in 1944. I killed 11 Nazis, and now I understand it's not a sidearm, it's the devil's right hand. The devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Every sidearm is the devil's right hand. I killed 11 Nazis, and now I understand that every sidearm is the devil's right hand." When I was 13, my papa took me to the woods. There were people dressed in camos and Irish shiny boots. Their guns looked double barrel, yeah, but they all looked pretty slick. But my papa said that they should go a-hunting with a stick. He said, "Always stay frosty and never lose your wit. For a yokel with a gun is about to do some dumb shit. They will play with their rifles, they will never understand that every sidearm is the devil's right hand. The devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Every long arm is the devil's right hand. They will play with their rifles, they will never understand that every long arm is the devil's right hand. All right, Ethan Tilbury on bass. I was coming home late after a very long night, and a man came from the alley with a very big smile. I found myself staring down the barrel of his gun. I was too broke to pay him, and I was too tired to run. So I grabbed onto his pistol, and I wrestled like hell. Then I heard a bang, and suddenly he fell. "Not guilty, Your Honor, you got the wrong man. Nothing touched the trigger, but the devil's right hand. The devil's right hand, the devil's right hand. Nothing touched the trigger, but the devil's right hand. Not guilty, Your Honor, you got the wrong man. Nothing touched the trigger, but the devil's right hand." Yeah. Devil's right hand.
Yeah. Nice. Great riff, great swing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's all the band that really brought this to life.
For sure.
And for the record, since we're on the radio, this is gonna stay out there in the ether forever. The song is based on real events in my life, except that last part. I never got caught. I'm in Canada legally. I'm not running away from it.
You're safe here at the
Thanks
Cat
for
Fiddle.
clarifying.
You are safe here at the Cat Fiddle.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So that was it the Steve Earle version that kind of put the spark in your head?
Yeah, I think it was more of a Johnny Cash rendition of Steve Earle's version. I think again, not to pass judgments about stuff that was written by the great Steve Earle and others. But I found that his version of the song was a little too light.
Right.
It didn't have this gravity of the devil's right hand. I kind of felt like I really like the song. I like the story. I like the theme behind it, but I felt like it needs to be a little more gritty. Yeah, and that's where we are.
That's where we are. Something that really stamps that
Yeah.
devil's hand onto the firearm and the whole kind of ethos behind.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of conversations about that.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's a great version and good, more ominous riffage.
Yeah,
Definitely riffage, ominous riffage. But a lot of your, I listened to a lot of your stuff, and it sounds like that the early kind of rockabilly, kind of Sun Records stuff. Is that something that grabbed you early? That kind of was something that you locked onto, and you really liked the sound of that authenticity.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I grew up in the Soviet Union. It wasn't exactly legal for us to listen to Western music, and my first records, where I started my journey into the Western music, was the Beatles. A lot of the Beatles. I listened to a lot of the Beatles, but then as kind of bits of information were seeping into the USSR, and with the change of the regime later in the 90s, we got a little more information about where the Beatles drew their inspirations from, right? So I got introduced to Chuck Berry and
Reverse
Tom
engineering.
Perkins.
Yeah.
So I went further down the rabbit hole, and I was absolutely fascinated. One of the things in that specific regard is that I have a kind of like a dream of. There's this video on YouTube, and I think every musician, you probably have seen it, about this one mic recording. I'm sure you've seen this. So the guy, there's a music studio somewhere in the UK, and the engineer kind of embarked on a project of recording a band similar to ours. I think it's a 3-piece as well, with one single mic, like they did back.
Like bluegrass style.
Yeah, like they did, the very early Sam Phillips recordings.
Right.
And the video just goes about to show how he had to angle everybody at different angles to capture different volumes, the position, because it carries no matter where in the room it is. And so it's a fascinating thing, and I really wanted to try and do that at some point. So that is kind of one of the projects that I'm still internalizing, and at some point we'll probably get in the studio and do that.
So you want to emulate that one mic kind of.
Yeah.
What did you do as far as the process for recording this record? Was it done in one place? Was it done in different spots?
It was all done in one spot, but in different sessions, and a few songs were done just live off the floor, and there was no overdubbing whatsoever.
You got any
For
first
example,
takers?
Yeah, like the Banks of Marble. I think it was the first, maybe the second take, but we usually get away with like 3 or 4 takes.
Right, yeah.
Because first take is usually when the engineer is still trying to figure out the levels and things like that. So it's never perfect. But yeah, we would rehearse the night before. We'd be here at what's the place called? The main stage studio, and then we would record. We also recorded here in Hamilton and Dundas. Technically, there's a studio called Schoolhouse, and it's just a few hundred meters outside of the actual city limits, but it's still in Dundas. So I don't know if you guys consider Dundas and Hamilton the same thing. I think.
Well, I don't think Dundas would, but.
I agree.
I don't want to start a war with Dundas, so.
No, neither do I. Actually love Dundas.
Dundas is great.
Yeah. So the studio actually specializes in hardcore music. So we were like, okay, it is mostly set up for like metal bands and everything. But the engineer that we work with, Andrew Dimitrian, he's a fantastic guy and very meticulous with how things should sound, and very good at post-processing everything and so on. So even the records that were like in the same room about this size, and we would record it, live off the floor. So he was like, I cannot do much with the vocals. You have to be on top of your game, because the drums bleed into the vocal mic. There's nothing we can do about it.
Exactly.
Just sing well, okay?
Yep.
And that's what we did, in some of those songs. And then there were a couple of songs where we did some overdubs. Just I remember there was this one time. I guess it's a segue into another song.
Perfect.
One time we
You're
showed
in the
up.
music business, Bob, by any chance?
No, not really. Is there a business? I'd like to get introduced. Please.
Monkey business.
Yeah.
It's monkey business.
That's a business. We showed up for a session, and the night before, a skunk died under the studio.
What a great omen.
We figured out that it was probably like he may have gotten injured by a coyote or an eagle or something like that, and just crawled under. You know how they do, like dark place to pass out. And
That's my plan as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good plan. Yeah. keep being annoying after you're gone.
Crawl under the house.
I love
You
that.
telling Betty I'm going to
If
jump
that's,
out the window.
if that's the only thing that people remember me for is being stinky, I'm fine. But yeah, and so we got in there, and it was like, we used I went to the drugstore and got a whole bunch of air wick, whatever they call the sprays,
Deodorizers.
air fresheners and whatnot. And my guitar, the Dan electric guitar that I had at the time, it stank for at least 2 weeks.
Oh,
after
amazing.
that. Still, it was like this, it stayed. So anytime I would open the guitar case, I'm like, oh God, what is that? But we wanted to get out of the studio so quickly, but we've already paid for it. We wanted to do something. So we recorded a song, and it turned out to be a little faster than we actually planned.
Up the tempo, get this thing done.
So this song was written by my good friend, and he was a former drummer in the band that Ethan and I were in, called 20 Fly Rockers, a long time ago. He's originally from Chicago. His name is Zebulon Barno, and he was a drummer. He moved out to Belleville, so I don't get to see him very often, but we still, collaborate. So he wrote a song way back when he was in Chicago, and it's called "You Cannot Get to Heaven." And I listened to it, and I said, well, I'd like it was a bluegrass song for the bluegrass band that he was in at the time, and I said, I really like this song. I asked for his permission to change the lyrics, which seemed to be a common theme on that album. I just take some other people's songs,
rewrite,
change lyrics a little bit.
Yeah.
And we can talk about why I do that separately. But the idea is we recorded that song, and it became like this kind of bluegrass, but also a little bit of punk. So, shall we play it, guys?
Yes.
Ready? Fingers warmed up and everything?
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. No matter how much gas you put inside, it's a rocky road to hell, and you'll get there fairly well in the richest motherfucker that you drive. You can get to heaven in your Tesla, you'll never see the gates of paradise. Ask yourself a simple question: if you want to change your soul's direction, ask yourself, now what would Jesus try? Damnation and salvation are your choices. Let's think you what to do and don't you want. On the judge's day, on the Peter and all the lady, and you'll never ever find a parking spot. Hey! You'll never get to heaven on your Harley. You'll never outrun an angel's wing. The archangels come for you, and you know just what to do through the branches, making you can take the way. Oh, heaven show is stealing through repentance. Eternal life is yours to every war. It lights in our destiny and trade that fucker in, or burn in hell just like old Henry Ford. You'll never get to heaven in your Lambo. Your bull will just infuriate our Lord. There will be no cherubim blessing you in your slipstream. Instead, you'll be eluding Satan's sword. And then you won't get any closer in your rocket. Despite the fact that glorifies your song. Time to stay on St. Peter and overlay and top and stop forever you they call. I was worry if that's one of those songs that is more fun to play than to listen to.
That's well, I've been trying to start a new. You appreciate this because you're in so many different stylistically. You can't really put you in a box, and I try and be the same way.
Eventually.
But one of the boxes I like to play in is something that I like to call punk gospel.
Oh yeah, oh I love that. That's a,
So pass that one around, Paul, because that's definitely a punk gospel tune for sure.
yeah. That's actually I'm gonna use this from
Use
now
it.
on officially. Yeah.
Use it, pass it on.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's another, like I say, another. When I was listening to your record, I'm thinking, yeah, here's some punk and you got some urgency in there. You got to tell that story. I didn't realize that there was a dying skunk underneath the studio, but I knew by listening to the song that there was definitely an urgency to get the message out.
As they say, sometimes the walls help.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive fan of old buildings. Just recently moved to Kitchener, got ourselves a century home, like 1890s.
Oh yeah.
With a billion of problems that I have not seen since I left Soviet Union. Like my partner calls it, this is the gayest house. It doesn't have a straight wall.
Oh yeah. If you put a marble on the floor, does it roll from corner to corner?
Yeah, it's just just everywhere. But I'd like to also, if you don't mind me, making a segue into another song, which is kind of related to modes of transportation, also from the new album. It's called The Rider, and it's about motorcycles. Like I feel like when I talk about BMWs and Teslas and Harleys, a lot of people can get offended. Rocket, I don't think so many people will get offended, but I am a motorcyclist myself, and I'm really happy about the season out there. Finally, like last weekend, rolled it out, went to St. Jacob's Market, got some potatoes.
I think we talked about this last time you were in. I'm also a
yeah.
motorcyclist myself, and
Yeah.
we're coming into the season of good contemplation, and when I'm riding out there, I feel like that's the most peaceful place to be, almost.
That was my experience with motorcycles, because I didn't get on a motorcycle at all until I was like 43 or something like that. I was just afraid of them, terrified. And one of the things that I did was I decided, like, you face your fears head on. Like, if you're afraid of flying, the advice out there is go and get a pilot's license. So if you're afraid of motorcycles, I guess go get yourself a motorcycle license. So I don't know anybody who has a motorcycle. I didn't know anybody who, among my personal friends. And I decided to go to a motorcycle school, and it's a 4-day course. And the first day you get on the motorcycle, not the first day you don't. The second day they put you on the motorcycle. They don't even let you start it. One of you is pushing it, and the other one of you is on it. And so that you can just test the brakes and how it works.
Get the tactile feel of it, right?
Yeah, it's like, okay, it actually is not falling over. I don't need to balance it. If it's rolling, it's rolling. So that was the moment when I realized, like, hell, this is what I want to do. Like, I really have gotten into motorcycles. I don't care about cars at all anymore. Like, it doesn't matter. A motorcycle, give me a motorcycle. So, wrote this song. It was at the time when I was dating my partner, and I used to take my motorcycle to drive to her place and pick her up. And so I wrote this song, which is basically about riding. Okay. Am I still there? Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I settled in and head up on the road. I feel lighthearted, as I always do. I love these hazy evenings and dusty miles of trail, and the northern wind that carries me to you. I'm riding through the belt of green and through the sleeves of gray. The setting sun reflecting in the room. They say that Rome's the place where all the winding roads must stay. But my heart, it leads me to your a big hog that you just like cruising on. That's kind of the feeling that you get. It's very relaxing. I recommend everybody.
I call it 80 miles an hour therapy.
Yeah, oh yeah, I love it.
The world just slows right down.
Exactly, and you have a connection with the road, and if you're out there in the countryside, you have the connection with the nature. I love it.
Yeah, one with the machine.
I think it's the closest thing we can get to without owning a horse to horseback riding.
Yeah, you don't have to clean up any poop.
Nope. Nah, you have to change oil from
Change
that.
oil,
But,
yeah. And how is have you discovered a bunch of good motorcycling roads out Kitchener Way?
oh yeah, it's the thing about the Waterloo County and the surrounding, like this Ray County and so on, is that every town, the little town that starts with an E or W, which is all of them, except St. Jacobs, has either a distillery or a brewery.
Yeah.
So suddenly your writing has a purpose.
Okay.
You're not just writing, you're also tasting different kinds of beers. And I gotta tell you, out there's some really fascinating beers that you won't get at your typical LCBO or wherever you get your beers.
Right.
Yeah, I think they only sell it on site on their websites or at tap rooms. So
Well, the whole craft beer micro industry has just exploded in the last decade or so. Like there's beer companies everywhere, and a lot of them have actually music rooms. Have you found places to gig out there, like tap
I
rooms?
play quite regularly at St. Jacobs. There's a Block 3 brewery that I play there fairly regularly. Some other places like up north, Trestle Brewing in Perry Sound, Sawdust Mill out, what's that place called? South of Huntsville. Gravenhurst, yes. Oh yeah, you were there. We played there together. Sorry. Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
When did you get here?
Yeah, so there's this kind of stuff.
And what's the how's the Kitchener music scene these days?
I think a lot has been affected lately. Well, part of the big part of the Kitchener music scene is not necessarily like independent, but they are probably known for the symphony orchestra, Kitchener Waterloo Symphony Orchestra. I don't know if you ever got to see that. They're fantastic. They suffered greatly through the pandemic because the season pass holders and all those kind of things, all that went away. So they had to. They only this season, like recently, they've gotten back together to start playing again. As far as the music scene, it's like I go to open mics, and in Kitchener, there's a lot of very talented young people playing music and writing music, and
That's great.
yeah, it's because I love Canadian music. I can easily put like 15-song playlists for the kind of tunes.
Oh, here we go. First entry.
Just like I love listening to Canadian music. I think that Canada has a lot of incredible amount of talent. It's just that the market is so small, right, compared to the United States, like less than 10 times smaller, and we don't get to see them live a lot. But if you really go and look for things, there's fantastic artists in different genres out there. So yeah, in Kitchener, I've met a few. Just keeping an eye. I've only lived there for since August, so it hasn't been a full year yet. So
Kitchener Blues Fest is always quite a big good time out there.
Yeah. So we moved in August, and it's in August, and I think it was like August 8th, and I kept the windows open. I could hear the entire festival without going to it. Because it's apparently like Kitchener is small, right? So everything's closed. So I heard most of it. There was a really cool Tom Petty tribute band playing there. I didn't catch the name because I didn't see him, but I heard that.
Right.
Pretty good stuff. Yeah, so there's a lot of activities that Kitchener and Waterloo, the cities, are doing just outdoors. So whether you go to a market, there's often like children singers, children musicians that are absolutely just mind-blowingly good. Oftentimes they can like play at a market without being amplified, and you can still make out what they're doing and how they're playing with acoustic guitar and voice. So that's fascinating. There's a number of programs at the main squares, both in Waterloo and in Kitchener. During the summer, they have splash pads there, so kids gather. A lot of the musicians show up there and play. So
That's
yeah,
great.
it's the music scene is going.
That's great.
And a lot of indie music going on.
Yeah, Kitchener's. I used to play in Kitchener quite a bit, and it was it was kind of a rocking scene for a while there. There was the boathouse at Victoria Park.
Just reopened. Yeah, I think
Oh.
Ethan played at the reopening.
Oh, wow, that's
Jazz
great.
Band, yeah.
Sadly, we lost. I don't know. Did you know Kevin Doyle? He used to run the boathouse back in the day. He passed away not too long ago. Great guy, music. He had
so
a-
I think the first time I played there was just right around the time when he passed away.
Yeah, what a guy! And he had a radio show. He used to promote independent music, and yeah, super guy. And it was a big loss for the community here and there, actually. Yeah, but well, how about throwing another tune at us? Mark?
Another tune, yeah. We got time for another one.
Oh yeah, for sure.
How about the cover of Purple Rain? that we did?
Nice.
I think we may have recorded it also with a little bit of help from the skunk, and you'll see why.
The skunk shows up again.
Skunk, yeah. It was. I should when the album is released, we should include him on the liner notes or something. Like his crew member.
Lavender. The skunk.
Pepe Le Pew.
Never meant to cause you any sorrow. Never meant to cause you any pain. I only wanted one time to see you laughing. I only wanna see you laughing in the purple rain, the purple rain, purple rain, purple rain, purple rain, purple rain. I only wanna see you laughing in the purple rain. Don't wanna be your one kind of love. Only wanna be some kind of friend. You can never steal from another. Such a shame our friendship had to end. Purple rain, purple rain. Purple rain, purple rain. Yeah, purple rain, purple rain. I only wanna see you laughing in the purple rain. Now you see the times they are changing. I think it's time we all reached out to something new. That means you too. Say you want a leader, but you can seem to make up your mind. Take my hand and let me guide you Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. Purple rain. I only wanna see you laughing in the world. Thank you very much.
That was fucking brilliant.
Thank you.
Oh, I love when you take a cover and you twist it around and make it your own. You
Twisted
definitely-
covers, yeah, I
you
used to do
definitely
that,
did
yeah.
that. You definitely did that with that song.
Thank you.
That was great. Unbelievable.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff, man. So you're the record. Have you done an official release, like a show or
No, this is it right now.
this is it right here, right now?
We
Shake It Up Radio.
Sing it, yeah.
Remember, you were here first.
Exclusive on
Yeah,
Connect
first song.
Historic occasion. What better place to do it, actually?
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. We the song, it's not the song, sorry, the album was released digitally.
Did you do
about
singles,
three weeks
singles,
ago.
and then
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, so what I tried doing is, again, we're talking about music business. I'm still trying to figure out if that thing's even exists.
I don't know.
Because I'm not sure. People were recommending, like, anybody who's a musician probably has heard it from everybody in so-called music industry that you gotta stop releasing albums, man. You gotta release singles. Look at J-Lo. Look at this. Look at that. Look at Billie Eilish. And I'm like, I like telling cohesive stories. I grew up listening, and to me, an album was a complete story with, like, or at least like a book of short stories.
Absolutely.
And they would have a
The
theme.
theme that was overarching.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes. And so I always felt uncomfortable releasing just singles because it's just like, putting it out there. But I kind of caved in with my then booking agent, who insisted that I release it like that. And I started with, like, it took almost all the songs. Out of 10 songs, 7 were released as singles. And then we just started, we call it drip feeding.
Yes.
In the industry, we call it
Oh.
drip feeding.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Let me write that down.
Oh, you learn something new every day, don't you?
Yeah.
That
That's
sounds
what
like slow death, but I don't know.
So basically, yeah, that's what happened. So we had 7 singles, and then the full album drops, and we still, like, haven't decided. I think it's kind of, again, interesting to gauge if there's interest in physical media anymore.
Yeah.
CDs, I have some from the previous albums. I'm probably gonna release it just because sometimes when you're playing live and people come up to you and say, well, we kind of want some memento,
Mhm.
and we're like, all right, here, it's better than an NFT,
Yeah.
It's not gonna lose value. At least it can deter cops. I don't know if you knew this, but CDs in the Soviet Union were used. You would hang them off the rearview mirror, and when the cops are pointing the laser at you, it will fuck up their system, so they would be able to gauge your speed. Actually,
Oh,
at least
okay.
that was the urban myth. I don't know if it's true or not. So I always say, hey, this is like cop deterrent, $10 each, please. And if you actually have a CD player in your car, you can listen to them, and if I sign them, they sound a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we did the reverse kind of reverse strategy to what you're talking about when Betty and I released our record in November.
Yeah.
We did the
Brilliant
physical.
record, by the way. I heard it.
Oh,
on Spotify.
thanks.
I love it. Yeah.
Thanks, man. We did the physical vinyl copies, sold those at the show.
Yeah.
Made half our money back, and then I've been doing every 6 weeks or so. I've been doing release a single, and then after that, I'll release the whole record on the digital platforms.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
throwing, the digital platforms is it's a big ocean, man.
It's
Right?
like, without getting too political or sounding too discouraged, but a lot of the aspects of human activities are now at the whim of algorithms.
Absolutely.
People, on social media, you don't know if you're going to get picked up.
No.
You don't know. It's just the algorithm, and they, like, all these companies all the tech companies that own that, they just denounce that they have any control over that, right? They're like, we don't know the algorithm.
Yeah. It's a black box.
Yeah. So it's kind of an interesting techno bubble that we live in from that perspective. I personally see Spotify as just a promo tool. Like, I pitch it to playlisters, just like actors. 90% is a rejection.
Yes.
The 10%.
Well, you're getting-
Okay, I dig it.
10% is pretty good.
Maybe more. I don't know. I'm just rounding. It's actually probably like 98. Yeah, and that's the situation. But if anybody, any of you people here, see us live and like, oh yeah, I'd like to check out how that sounds on the actual record that you worked on at the studio. You can go and do that
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's all about funneling people to the live performances. That's the way I think of it anyway.
I think that's what it is. That's honestly, there's different reasons why people do music altogether. Me, I'm just doing it for the live connection. Like
Absolutely.
The 2 years between March 2020 and about June 2023, 22 or something, that was the worst time of my life.
You can
Where
play
you
live.
couldn't go out and
Yeah.
interact with the audience and play and see what they think about you.
Yes.
Genuinely.
Well, that feedback loop, right?
Yeah.
And the kind of the whole trading of.
It's all about that.
Yes.
It's all about the creating, like, this is an event. We are here. We're all here at the same time. We're creating something together with our energy, however you describe it, whatever you believe in. But something is happening.
Absolutely.
Something is happening every time.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, when we came back, we were singing plastic discs around the microphone stands and ridiculous things hanging from the ceilings.
We played in London. Remember the recurring gig that we have every month in London, and there was like an actual glass wall, and I'm like, where do I put my amp so that I'm not the only one who hears it reflecting from the glass wall in front of us?
Yeah.
So I had to kind of put it around.
Yeah.
It was interesting. Yeah, that was an interesting time.
Oh boy.
Very low tech ways of fighting a virus.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And are you still? I know for a while you were quite active in the Toronto music scene, right? Are you still trying to cultivate gigs within that scene? Are you applying for festivals? Like, how are you pursuing your life?
We try to play in Toronto at least a couple times a year. Not to say anything bad about the Toronto, but there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of bands. There's 3 big universities that produce high quality musicians out there, and so the market is very saturated. So showing up there and playing, it's not just like a competition per se, but it's just there's so many stages and the dates are tough.
Yes.
And people who go out to listen to that, they also know that any night of the day they can go out and hear a decent band playing, right?
Right.
Because again, quality musicians. So showing up there and playing, there was a couple of years that I played there regular, like try to play at least every month. And then eventually you see that people who even like you, that they like you. They're not just, built-in crowd. They showed up for your gig.
Right.
They stop showing up because they're like, well, we've already seen what do you have that's new, And they know that at the same time they can go somewhere else and see somebody else. So what we try to do is we don't neglect anybody. We still try to book at least 2 shows a year there, and always trying to bring something new that we haven't released yet or haven't played live yet, something, so that there's always a little bit of this novelty to the act.
And you've got a big presence online. You've got quite an extensive YouTube channel.
So that is an interesting thing. It's like I actually quit all social media.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I'm not on
Good for you,
Instagram.
man.
I mean, I think there probably are the accounts there.
I heard that's as bad as quitting smoking.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's worse for you than
I
smoking.
found a lot of free time now that I spend reading books. Like I recently finished a massive biography of Johnny Cash. So I just found that there's time that I have things to do with. But YouTube is something that I'm looking into a little bit more, because when I do feel like you need to stay, you need to remind people that you're still out there. So I do a lot of shows. I have Bands in Town account where I list all of my shows. This is how I promoted today. For example, I went on Bands in Town, sent a message to everybody who's my subscribers. About 200 people in Ontario are not subscribed to that.
That's it. What is that? Is that an email list or?
It's a platform that lists, basically, honestly, it lists all of artists out there. So anybody from Billie Eilish and Taylor Swift all the way down to like someone like Paul Kafka.
Or up to Paul Kafka.
I wish.
In our mind.
Yeah. Thank you. But basically, you can go on there and see what's happening in your area, what concerts, because I think all the main acts, they put it there. It used to be, what was the other thing that, sound something?
SoundCloud?
No, not SoundCloud. It was a different one. I forgot the name of it. It'll come back and I'll say it. But it's now, all the rage is now about Bands in Town. So like, for instance, if you go to my Spotify profile, and there's a tab that says touring, and it shows all the dates and where I'm playing, whether it's with a band or solo. So it'll be that. And also, if you subscribe to a particular artist, and it doesn't matter where they are in the world, you can subscribe to all the artists you're following. It will send you emails when they have shows in your area. So like, okay, who's
Is this on
coming here?
Spotify or is this on
It
that
can be on
platform?
Spotify. You can embed it in your website. So I have a page on my website that lists all the shows as well. So it's called Bands in Town. One word. If you type it up, it will explain. You just go in there, sign up with your email address, and you'll just figure out where you are, who to follow. So there's that. As far as YouTube, YouTube actually integrates with bands in towns as well. So if you go to someone's YouTube channel, it will show their concerts in your area as well. So it basically is becoming what we call the industry standard now. I started posting shorts on YouTube, and I found that even when I used to make official music videos on YouTube, you spend thousands of dollars, and you hire a crew, and you do the whole thing. And if you're not promoting it, you would get 200, 300 views if you're lucky, right? I started posting shorts of me just literally rehearsing songs, covers, originals, whatever it is, just doing that. And I immediately am getting like 1,000 views, 2,000 views on those shorts. And I'm like, okay, if that's what the algorithm wants now,
Short attention span
short
algorithm.
attention span, under 1 minute, okay, I'm going to start doing that. So that's basically what I'm doing now. In terms of it's pretty much the only social media aspect. Plus, now I'm an old school guy. I like my newsletters. I call them love letters from Paul Cafcae. So if you haven't subscribed and you're pining for some love letters, please go to my website and subscribe. I'll be
Kimberly, you listen? You wildcat, you.
I'll be sending them out.
And that's your email.
Yeah, so it's like an email list that goes out. Whenever there's something to announce, like a new album comes out or a tour, or something like that.
Great. That's great. Well, it's been a super, what a great experience having you guys on the show today, Paul. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much.
You want to
Thank you very much.
blast us out with one?
Blast. That's gonna be a fast one. Can we play like a slow tune?
You can play whatever you want, man. You guys are great.
I don't know what the rules are on
There's no rules here.
This one's called Eileen.
Paul Cafcae Band, everybody. Put your hands together. What a great day.
Eileen, oh, where have you been? Where have you been all my life? You can't know, Eileen, the trouble I've seen to finally feel so alive. I walk through the hills, through valleys and downs. I swim across rivers and rain. I've learned several things, and I spat in the world. Oh, I have made some mistakes. But when I met you, my gray skies turned to blue. This foreign land felt like a home. Just one glance at you, and that's when I knew I'll never again be alone.
You can't know I need the trouble I see. Finally feel so alive. You can't know I need the trouble I see to finally feel so alive.
You have been listening to the Cafcae Band on Canuck Tunes Online Radio. We are broadcasting live from the Cat Fiddle, corner of John Street South at Augusta in Hamilton. We've got another great big segment set for you. Stand by. Please do not go away. For those of you in the pub, we do have our 50-50 draw if you're interested. But we got a lot more coming up. A lot of great music with Famous Framus. Bernadette Connors is coming up. Stand by.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.